When I moved out here 3 years ago to Newfoundland, I joined the local volunteer fire department, and I wasn't there very long before they asked me to become the deputy fire chief here in the community. Some residents in the community came forward and asked me if I considered running for council. So my wife Kim and I talked about it, and we decided that given my previous experience as a city councillor out in British Columbia, and my role as a leader in my regular occupation, is that it would probably be best if I ran for mayor. So that's how I become the mayor. Harbour, Maine is a rather small community, just over 1,000 people, and it's a small, historic, beautiful community here in rural Newfoundland. And the residents and the staff have come to appreciate that I do have a full-time job. So they know if they got to contact me, to call me at lunchtime, after work, or before 8 o'clock, and I can tell you that they avail of that quite regularly. I think the biggest thing that drove me to want to take that offer was some of the safety concerns I seen here in the community. I seen provincial roads that needed to be maintained, guide rails around our roads here that had been covered up and needed repair. We have a slipway for boats to go into the ocean here that was done by volunteers and wouldn't be, I guess, classed as one of the safest slipways around, but people do use it with caution. But it too needed that work. And as a member of the fire department here, my biggest concern was the fact that we were unable to use the fire hydrants here in the community due to the lack of water pressure availability with our present infrastructure. So seeing those things and being a safety professional, these are the things that really drove me to really accept the offer of running for mayor of this community. Safety has to be the #1 priority of any community. Nobody wants to live in an unsafe community, and I can tell you, I don't do it by myself. I have a team behind me.
Mike is always available to provide support with any of his team. He has an open door policy. We can drop by at any time and voice our opinions if we have any issues or concerns. And Mike will always provide us with correct and proper guidance to ensure that we rectify any issues or concerns. Mike is very approachable. He helps maintain a great level of respect within his team. He helps workers feel very valued and very acknowledged.
I've worked with Mike personally on a few safety issues. He does a great job of listening, and he understands what the workers are going through, and he's willing to find a solution that works for all of us all the time. The Safety Starts With Me campaign is our rotational safety meeting program offshore, where we talk about one focused item with our entire workforce. Safety Starts With Me campaign is successful, takes it down to the worker level and makes it important to an individual.
The Safety Starts With Me campaign is a program that allows people to create presentations based on safety themes that we've seen on our installation and here on the East Coast, and they internalize it, make it their own, and that program has been very successful. We've seen a 50% reduction in first aids, we've seen a 50% increase in our proactive reporting, and we've seen an 80% reduction in recordable injuries. So it shows that this program has been internalized.
Mike is pretty successful implementing safety campaigns because he implements a program that the workers want. If you try to build a safety program that's driven from the office for the office, it just won't work in the field.
Mike always has an improvement for safety performance. He's always looking to find initiatives and find ways to improve safety performance in the workplace and also on board our installations offshore. He's very passionate about safety and he's very committed to driving continuous improvement.
The PINK campaign was actually named for PINK. That was the PINK Pinch Point Project. And this was a behavior-based program that I developed to curb hand injuries in the workplace. We were having hand injuries every month on our rig locations, and so I developed something a little fun. And really it is just some pink gloves that have skeletons on the background to depict the bones in the hand. And it was a game of tag. So if you saw somebody put their hands in a bad spot, you tag them and say, hey, caught you in a bad spot, recreate the picture safely, make a safety moment out of that. So I had the honor and privilege to work on a team here on the East Coast to develop the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers Code of Practice for Fatigue Management. And it's really important in the fact that, we've always talked about drugs and alcohol as fit for duty, and now we're talking about fatigue fit for duty. And this allows us to put a standard practice in place of how to manage fatigue here on the East Coast. And anything we can do to make our operations safer is important to us. And fatigue is something that we need to talk about.
And Mike thoroughly enjoys visiting our offshore installations, where he has an opportunity to engage the workforce and deliver key messages and help enhance and build Suncor's safety culture.
Mike has a real energy about safety. He's professional, he's well-spoken, and he's been on the front lines before, so he understands what workers are dealing with.